everyone, it's Darby with Rejoice and Create, and today I'd like to share this project with you today. I think this is just a very sweet little treat bag. It stands about 6 inches tall, and it is 1.5 inches by 1 inches, and it's made out of the Delightful Daisy DSP pack, along with the Label Me Pretty stamp set and the punch to match, the pretty label punch. But I think it's very sweet because it will fit the 2 by 8 inch bags. So whatever you can put in the 2 by 8 inch bags will sit nicely in this little treat bag. And I think the shape of it is just lovely. I can see them standing up on a table setting for many different things, or certainly for a coworker's desk. So let me show you how I made it. Alright, for the bag we'll need a piece of 6 by 6 designer series paper, and certainly you can use any of the designer series paper packs. I'm using the Delightful Daisy suite, just the back of the other one that I used for the first bag. A piece of cardstock, and it doesn't really necessarily have to be any particular color. If it coordinates well, if it blends well, because the way you put the bag together you really don't see it. So you can use up some of your cardstock scraps. And this is 2.5 inches by 3 inches. Now I also need a scrap of Whisper White for the label and the sentiment that will go on front. I used for my first bag the mini chevron crushed curry ribbon, and this time I'm going to use the Old Olive mini chevron ribbon. Alright, so let me show you how we made this. Now this is 2.5 by 3 inches, and we're going to score every side at 3/4 of an inch. Okay, so all sides scored at 3/4 of an inch. So we'll go ahead and fold and burnish our score lines. This is a bag in a box technique, or a bag around a box, or I can't remember exactly what it's called, but you make the little box on the bottom and then you'd adhere the DSP around it. So we're just making the little box to sit on the bottom. So after you score, fold and score, burnish your score lines, we'll go ahead and cut up the rectangles and take a notch into the squares on all of the score lines on this side. And do the same on this side. Okay, and we'll get some fast fuse because we want it to stick well, and we'll go ahead and put some fast fuse on all of the tabs. And form it into a box. Alright, so we've got our little 1.5 by 1 inch box. Now let's go ahead and take our DSP, and if there's a side which has a pattern that goes up, make sure that it's the right way. We're going to put adhesive down the side and across the bottom. We're going to be using this side as a decoration, so I won't necessarily have to worry about having it right way up unless anybody's peeking inside the bag. But I go ahead and put adhesive down one side and then across the bottom. And now we're just going to adhere it to our bag. Now, the size of the 6 inch, if we start at less than half, we might overlap one of the corners. So I want to keep the seam in the back. So what we're going to do is at half or more than half, we're going to start the box. So I'll go ahead and put that down, and I'll pick it up and show you what I mean in case I'm being confusing. Alright, so here's the box, and here's halfway in the box, and I made sure the DSP was farther than halfway. So I covered more than half of this side of the box. Alright, and just like the other bag in a box techniques, just go ahead and roll it and make sure that the bottom of that box is stuck to the level of the bottom of the DSP. Oh, and did I tell you to start? When I started the box, I started on the side that did not have the adhesive on it. So start with the side that does not have the adhesive, because it's when you roll it, the adhesive side will overlap that side. Alright, go ahead and roll it again. And I'm going to use my can't get my finger in there now, so I'm going to use my bone folder to stick it down. And one more time, just go ahead and line up that last section and kind of press it along as you go. All right, and now we're going to go ahead and kind of just curl it up and stick it together. All right, I'll take a minute and just get my bone folder down there. All right, in order, how we got the arch on the top, you see the seam is in the back here. Make sure that's stuck well, and I'll turn it to the side that doesn't have the seam front, and just go ahead and run your hand down, and at the very last inch, press it down till you have folds on both sides. Because this is where we're going to make the curve across the top. So go ahead and just press that down into a fold. Try not to press the rest of it because we like that curved appearance on the sides. And this is the fun part where our layering ovals or stitch shape ovals come in. And you can use either the stitch shape framelits or the layering framelits. We're just going to find the one that matches the width of the top the best. And let me see, I think I'll try this one. See if that one's, oh, actually it might just do it. So if it just fits on there, it might be a wee bit tight. So maybe I'll just try the next one larger. All right, that one's pretty big too. So if you certainly you can see how this curve is across the top. I'm going to try, I think, the little bit smaller one because I did like the look of it curving a little bit. And certainly you can use the stitch shape framelits as well. That one's a little bit small if you like that stitched look. When you put it over, and I think I might go ahead and do that to show you how that looks, is you put it over so that the cutting side is up and just roll it gently to the top. So the cutting side is facing down on the top of the front of the bag. Now you want to try to do it so your oval is level across the top of the bag, so it's even with the top of the bag. And when you cut it, let me move these out of the way. When you lay it on your cutting pad, you're going to only do the partial cut. So we're going to lay it down like this. Make sure our oval is even. And when we put that top cutting plate down, we're only going to rest it to where we want the cut to end. So let's see if I got that. So I want the cut to end right there. So that is where I'm going to put the end of the cutting plate. Let me run that through and I'll show you how it comes out. Okay, so here's how it comes out. When we only roll it up to there and roll it out, the cutting stops right where we stopped our plate. So let's go ahead and stick this out. And look at how sweet that is. You see the stitch framelits, the stitch framing around the top of the curve? Certainly you can use the scalloped layering ovals as well to make a very pretty scallop top if that's the look you're going for. All right, the last thing I'm going to do is to take a 3/4 inch circle punch, and I'm going to make a little finger hold for the top of the bag. So I'll just go ahead and press that down again and just gently snug this right over here. And I just center it so that it's in the center of the bag and it's down a pleasing amount, probably at the level of where the cuts ended. And go ahead and punch your little finger hold out. Isn't that so sweet? I'm going to just smooth out these little folds a little bit, but I do want to kind of maintain an ovalish shape of the bag. But I think that's just adorable. All right, so the next thing I'm going to do is to make the label, and we're going to use the Pretty Label Punch with the Label Me Pretty set. I think for the outside on this one, I'll go ahead and use some crushed curry, and then I'll use the Old Olive for the sentiment. All right, let me ink that one up, and I'm using this label, and I gotta be careful now because I've overzealously inked it up, so if I don't stick it down too hard, I'll be all right. Yes, there's nothing in the middle there, so I'm doing all right on that one. Okay, so now I'm doing You're the Best with Old Olive. All right, let me get this ink out of the way. All right, now so I have the Pretty Label Punch, and I'll go ahead and punch out the label. And hopefully I left enough room for the 1 1/4 inch punch to punch out the sentiment. Let me go ahead and grab that. There. So hopefully punch the 1 1/4 inch punch to punch out "You're the Best." Yeah, there we go. All right. All right, I'm going to pop this up on dimensions. Let me find my dimensionals. I'm going to go ahead and put 2 on there. All right, and I want it to be vertical because it's a slender bag, so we're going to go ahead and do that vertically. All right, and then I'm going to put a little fast fuse on the top, or certainly glue dots. So go ahead and stick it right below the finger hold. Okay, so now I have the length of the Old Olive mini chevron ribbon, and let me go ahead and tie a bow with that. It's starting to look more like a bow. What do you think? Oh, some people make it look so beautifully easy. Alright, so that looks like a good. Let me just make it a little bit smaller because it is a smaller box. Alright, and I'm going to go ahead and stick it on with a glue dot. And we're going to stick it right on the top of the label, right over the sentiment. Okay. And let me just get my ribbon scissors and trim those off. I just think that's so sweet. So that's our project today, an arch top treat bag. And I made these with the Delightful Daisy Designer Series paper pack. And of course they fit to the 2x8 cellophane bags that Stampin' Up sells. And you can tuck as many goodies as you want to in there and tuck it in the bag for a wonderful table setting. And because I belong to Hoarders Anonymous, I went into my stash and I pulled out some retired Christmas DSP in honor of Christmas in July. This is the Presents and Pinecones Designer Series paper stack, and there's 12 double-sided papers, and they feature colors such as Cherry Cobbler and Emerald Envy. The reason I pulled these out to make a sample with is because as of July 2017, it was still available on the clearance rack for only $4.40 in the United States. And if you wanted to add a combo pack of Emerald Envy and Cherry Cobbler ribbon, you can add another $3.60. You can make a very inexpensive Christmas table setting. Now the last sample I wanted to show you is very elegant. This I made out of the Bundle of Love Specialty Designer Series paper pack. And I don't know if you can see the shine and the glitz on that one, but this is gold embossed. Because the Specialty Designer Series paper pack, although it has Blushing Bride or Soft Sky on one side, the other side is very vanilla with gold embossing. And it makes just a beautifully elegant treat bag. And I can see this standing on the table at a 50th wedding anniversary, or even as party favors for a wedding or another elegant party. And it was made with a Label Me Pretty stamp set and the punch. And the W came from the brushwork alphabet, and it's all gold embossed on the label. And there's a little bit of a shadow that I punched out with gold foil and just offset the label down a little bit. And of course this beautiful ribbon is the metallic edged ribbon, and this one's the gold with a very vanilla. And of course there's silver with whisper white as well, if that coordinates better with your project. And I don't know if you can see that how beautifully and shiny and sparkly it is, but it really is beautiful. So that's our project today, and I hope you give it a try. It makes a really elegant or whimsical or fun treat bag depending on what you use. If you liked the video, please give me a thumbs up, and I'd always love to have you stop by my website at rejoiceandcreate.com. And until we meet again, I hope your days are blessed. Bye!